Good morning, all of you. Can we go ahead, everybody? Yeah? Chalo. Yeah, where were we? We had just started with the very basic. So, what chapter of invoices? Invoices, debit note, credit note, and e-way bill that you have to cover. Okay? The importance of this chapter is mainly also for claiming of ITC, input tax credit. Only if you have the invoice, you can claim the input tax credit. And that rules also we are going to learn in the chapter of ITC. Okay? There is a separate big chapter of ITC. So, one of the preconditions is that you should have the invoice. When you talk about invoice, it has to be authentic, legal, valid invoice. So how do we say, or what do we say when it is a legal invoice? Only if the form it is as per the format. Now format means all the details which are required that is there on that particular document. है ना? So the overall section which deals with invoice is which one, बच्चों? Section 31. है ना? From 22 onwards, we have seen everything about registration. Till 30, it was a part of chapter of registration. After that, we went to section 31. Okay, we had a little bit of basics only we had covered. And what had we seen? Under section 31, it talks about what is the format of invoice and importantly, by what time you should send the invoice or issue, let us use the word issue the invoice. Agreed, everybody? Now, issuing of invoice depends whether you are supplying goods or services. Because services, again, that is fine, but for goods, again, there can be what three cases. What? Goods are moving, goods are not moving, or third was what, bachcho? Continuous supply of goods. Agreed or no? Remember or no? Everyone tell me quickly. अरे बोलो हाँ. Yes, चलिए everybody. चलो. So goods are moving. So on or before movement, correct? Goods are not moving. That means you're making them available. That means the buyer is coming and taking it away. So again, on or before making it available. And thirdly, continuous supply of goods. Continuous supply of goods. What example we had? Natural gas. It's just an example, na bachcho? Just one of the examples. Correct? You are supplying gas through pipeline and all. Hai na? In that case, when the issue needs to be when the invoice needs to be issued, bachcho, whenever there is a successive statement generated, so on or before that statement means what? Consumption, utilization, that kind of accounting is done, hai na? So statement is prepared. Then we went into bachcho provision of services. When do you need to issue invoice if at all you are supplying service? Yes, tell me. Before allowed, yes. During allowed, also yes. After provision of service allowed, obviously yes, also yes. But within how many days? 30 days. For banking, insurance, NBFC, how many days? 45 days. Hi Anna, agreed till here? Okay, that also we had seen. Yeah, and there was also a case of continuous supply of service. For continuous supply of service, the contract has to be of how many days or whatever months? Minimum 3 months. Okay, we have covered that also. Okay, that also we had covered. Yeah, and if the payment is related to what, bachcho? Completion of event. So on or before the completion of event, you should issue the invoice. Okay, fine till here? Chalo. Ready? Other things. 31.6. Where supply of services ceases, that means stops before its completion. You could not complete the contract. So in a case where the supply of service stops under a contract before the completion of the supply, the invoice shall be issued at the time when the supply ceases, and such invoice shall be issued to the extent of supply made before cessation. Cessation, do you understand? Cease or cessation means stop, hai na? Again, this concept also comes into picture in your contract act. If you remember contract act, I think it was quantum merit, if I remember. That means you are liable to pay for the work done, even if not fully completed. But if it is partly completed, for that you have a right to claim money for the same. Yes, that was something like kind of, I think, quantum merit. Here also same concept. You could not complete the entire event, okay, entire your contract. So whenever you have stopped in between, now see, now you have done a contract, bachcho, for let us say 12 months, है ना? 12 months. but you have stopped after 6 months. So it is completely okay to raise an invoice for 6 months. Is it okay, everybody? And obviously you will raise an invoice for the work done, okay, proportionately, है ना? Now security services example I had given, the contract is done for the entire year or 2 years or 5 years, something like that. That is completely okay, है ना? Or giving of a commercial building or office on a lease for 5 years. Okay, everybody. So again, in that case, but what will happen? For whatever period you have used it or that is provided service, for that period you can issue an invoice. All right, fine till here. Chalo. Important star mark. Goods sent on sale or return basis, accounting treatment. Again, you have done that in, I think, CA Foundation accounts, I guess. Also in your Sale of Goods Act, है ना? What is this common sense over here, or what is the logic over here? Is the supply, let me use the word transfer of ownership happening immediately? Will you book the sales immediately? Is it a sale, bachcho, immediately? No, because we don't know whether the prospective buyer, है ना, he has actually accepted or not. Correct, Elia? So as per accounting treatment also, or logically also, when do you say there is a supply, है ना, sale? There can be a couple of things. Buyer communicates clearly, I like this, I'm keeping it. Just like a brother and sister, bachcho. For whatever things you buy or bring at house, your brother, sister, bachcho, this is now mine also. Hai ki nahi? Or seller had given some time that tell me or rejection within 7 days. Inform me about rejection within 7 days. Otherwise, I will deem that you have accepted. Agree till here? So time is given, isn't it? That can be the case. Or third case, time is also not given and buyer is also bachcho not communicating. What do you think then? What do you think? I just want to. Good, very good. Good point, Nathan. The buyer pledged the goods ahead. Very good. Good point. Good point. That means he has shown that he accepts the good. Good point. Nice point. So buyer did something with that goods such that he assumes or he shows that he is the owner. Good. What else, bacho? I was talking about, let us say, communication. Buyer communicated, or time was given by seller, proper time is expired, elapsed, or buyer is also not communicating within the given time, or there is no time. Let us say there is no time given by seller. So, bacho, he should communicate within reasonable time, na? If time is not specified by the seller. Hai ki nahi, bacho? And even the buyer is not doing anything with the goods, let us say, not pledged, not resold, nothing. Not communicated. So, but at least he should inform within reasonable time. Reasonable, again, case to case basis. Samjha? Understood, all of you? Correct, na? That is logically also, bachcho, as per Sale of Goods Act. As per GST, again, you might know there can be little bit different logic. Okay, if we are still in which question, we have not yet here. We are in this right now, section 31(7). We are not deciding whether it is still a supply or not a supply. We are deciding when to issue invoice. We are right now just still sticking to the story of when to issue invoice. Clearly, all of you? Whether the liability arises or not arises of outward supply. Understand what I'm trying to say. Whether there is a liability or not a liability of outward supply. That we will see in the chapter of time of supply. Okay, there is another chapter, but what? Time of supply. But to understand time of supply, we should first have to understand invoices. That's why I jumped the sequence. Okay, समझा यहाँ तक? All of you okay? Fine, clear? So let's check, बच्चों. When do we have to issue the invoice? When the goods being sent or taken on approval for sale or return basis, है ना, are removed. Goods are removed. Okay, before the supply takes place. Look at the wordings. Before the supply takes place, है ना? The taxable event, बच्चों, under GST is what? Supply. Section number. Supply section number. Supply, I'm saying supply. Entire chapter we have done on supply. Wow, bete. Wow. supply. We have done na chapter supply. Kushbu, Indrajit, Akshay. Good. 7, correct. You have done na entire chapter we have done bachcho on supply. Okay. And 8 was your composite and mixed supply, है ना? Those sections. Clear till here? What is the importance bachcho of the word supply? That means it is a taxable event. What? Supply is a taxable event. Liability arise. I mean, there has to be some supply to make it taxable or the liability to arise. Remember that? And that is the reason we have seen Schedule 3. What was Schedule 3? It is neither supply of goods, neither supply of services. है ना? Okay, anyways, chalo come back. So goods are removed, but it is before supply. Now before supply means, are you understanding the word here? Supply is a very wide term, wide. I hope this must be understood. These two sentences are trying to say that goods are removed from the stock, from the factory, but it is still not a supply, or before the word, before supply. Are you understand the meaning of that? Right now you can keep in your mind, supply means sale right now. Hai ki nahi? But supply, sale is a very, you can say one of the meaning under supply. Okay. So goods are removed before sale, obviously. It is a sale on approval or return basis. Na? So there is no sale yet. So, but we are giving the goods maybe for trial basis. All of you. So goods are sent before supply. I hope this much you understood. Before supply takes place. Chalega na? The invoice shall be issued. Pay attention now. Before or at the time of supply. Please in your mind keep this common sense. This supply bachcho does not mean transport of goods. What did I say bachcho? Does not mean transport of goods. What does it mean? What do you think bachcho? What does it mean? What do you think? Before a time of sale. Right now bachcho in your mind for this subsection you can keep it as, keep in your mind. Before or at the time of sale. Clear till here? How will we establish that yes, it is a sale? Buyer will communicate as per the contract, etc. Okay. If he does not communicate, then bachcho we are taking bachcho on a higher side, 6 months max. So GST law bachcho, as per GST law, 6 months. Are you getting my point or no, everybody? Goods are removed without sale. Okay. So when will you assume it as sale? Whatever may be the date as per the agreement between seller and buyer, or 6 months from the date of removal, whichever is earlier. On that day or before that, you can issue the invoice. Clear? Yes, still here? So is it one of the exception or no of section 31? What exception? Then in 31, bachcho, for at least for removal of goods, we saw that normally when you should issue invoice, normally on or before removal of goods. So this is one of the exception. At the time of removal of goods, we are not issuing invoice. Agreed? Akshay, okay till here? Indrajit? ठीक है ना?
Recording stopped.
कवर किया तुम लोगों ने कल का लेक्चर? त्वड़ा अक्षय, इंद्रजीत? बोलो फटाफट. कल का किया अक्षय? ओके इंद्रजीत. एवरीवन में करना मैसेज. मैसेज ऑन एवरीवन. ओके गुड. ठीक है. यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ना? मतलब ठीक है. दैट्स व्हाट, बिकॉज हाँ रिप्लाई आल्सो 10. ठीक है. चलो आगे बढ़े. लेट्स गो अहेड.
Recording in progress.
Okay till here all of you? Fine. So this is bachcho your exception to your normal provision that you should issue invoice on or before removal of goods. Here there is no supply, that's why we are not issuing invoice. Invoice is a proof that supply has happened, and here bachcho we are waiting for the supply. I hope you are understanding. Okay, because there is not yet confirmed supply. I am using the term bachcho now, supply. Okay, chalo aage badhe. Let's go ahead everybody. Okay, so whichever is earlier. So actual time of supply or 6 months, whichever is earlier. So on a higher side, you can say 6 months. Particulars, time pass. But yes, you'll have to remember things. Particulars means bachcho contents of tax invoice. Okay, read with rule so and so. There is no formatting is not a problem, but it makes mandatory for the invoice to have certain fields. Okay, check. Name, address, GSTIN of the supplier. We finished the chapter of your this na GSTIN registration. Oh, but at times I like showing you a map. I did not show you, but showing that lecture, that is okay. Nothing great. Just a minute. Huh? Can you see now? All of you? State code in GST. The one there started from JNK, okay? HP. State wise, I'm saying state wise. So 01, 02, 03. For Maharashtra, budget is 27. Then Karnataka 29. Andhra 28. Telangana, obviously, also they would have given something new. Pondi 34. Tamil Nadu 33. Kerala 32. You know? Acha, Telangana, I think is given. Some number is given. Okay, everybody? So state wise. Northeast budget also check. State wise, that is given. Hai na? I think they went from that map wise. 1, 2, 3. From where? 5 after what is 7, 8. Actually, Rajasthan. And then again up Uttar Pradesh. ठीक है. Fine, tell you? That is your state code list. I hope you understood this. I mean, this is just for knowledge. Okay. Again, I hope you can see Punjab has different and Chandigarh UT different. Delhi 7. है ना? Okay, chalo. Let's go back. So name, address, and GST of the supplier. Clear, to all of you? Then a consecutive serial number. This is again time pass. Invoice bachcho has number or no? Invoice. It has number 001, 002, whatever. So consecutive, you can just keep on checking all the invoices which you get in your life, maybe from other coaching academy, or your light bill, or your food restaurant bill, or electricity bill. Keep these things and just check on the invoice, or whenever you buy from Amazon, Flipkart, whatever, Myntra, whatever it is, check the invoice. You'll understand. Okay, these are all practical things now. A consecutive serial number not exceeding 16 characters in one or multiple series containing alphabets, numbers, special characters, hyphen or a dash or a slash, and any combination thereof, unique for a financial year. I'm talking of invoice number. Generally, let us say I want what I at times make as my invoice number. Let us say I'm issuing 001, first invoice. Let us say for the month of April, okay, for 23-24, let us say 23-24. This is what sequencing I do in my invoice generally at times for practice and all. You are free to do anyhow, whatever you like. So, but not more than what they are saying, 16 characters. Understood? People may have a company or a branch, from which branch exactly it went. So accordingly, they can make their own unique set of invoice number, invoicing. Okay, for invoicing. Understood, Ilya? I'm talking of this is what entirely invoice number. Okay. Then date of its issue important. Then if the recipient is registered, important. Name, address, and GSTIN or UIN of the recipient. Okay, if he is registered, the party is registered, recipient. Okay, Delia? Fine. So on the invoice, two GSTIN will be there, supplier as well as recipient, if the recipient is registered. These small things you have to remember now. Check. If now, but if the recipient is unregistered, understand or no? I'll tell you the importance also. If the recipient is unregistered, okay, if the recipient is URD, remember URD, unregistered dealer. So the recipient is unregistered. Does he have GSTIN? Absolutely not. And the value of supply, the amount of supply is 50,000 or more. Okay, and other case if we have less than 50,000. Who is more important? more or less, who is more important? More is more important, obviously. Correct लिया. Recipient is unregistered. ठीक है. What details you require बच्चों? Check of the recipient. Name and address of the recipient. ठीक है. And address of the delivery along with the name of the state and its code. ठीक है. So again, name and address so we have here also. Accordingly, बच्चों separately what do we also need? Place of delivery and along with the name of the state and its code. If the amount is less than 50,000, let us say बच्चों I buy a mobile or a laptop more than 50,000 online. Let us say I'm unregistered. The name, address, address of name, address actually, billing address, delivery address, and the state name and the code. But if the amount is less, unregistered recipient may still request the aforesaid details to be recorded on the tax invoice. That means it doesn't matter that if the bacha amount is less than 50,000, then he can still ask the other party to, you can say, input the same details on the invoice. Otherwise, not even required. Just tell you all of you. Okay, everybody. Now, just for the sake of example, now check. If the amount is less than 50,000, are we even taking name of the recipient? No. But if the amount is more than 50,000, we're taking name and address of the recipient. Hi Anna. Why do you think so? Why bachu? Why? Why that bachu logic may be there? I'm just trying to make you think a little bit. Threshold limit is 50,000. Okay, huh? I mean, okay, 50,000 they have given. But why are they behind details of unregistered dealer? Because okay. Now, see, again, it is registered to unregistered person. So it can be B2C. Business to customer. है कि नहीं? Fine, tell you. But even if it is B2C or even if it is B2B, but the recipient is not registered, okay? You are buying, let us say you're buying for business purposes, but you're not registered under GST. As a buyer, I'm saying you're not yet registered. So here, if the recipient buys lots of items during the year, and is not yet registered, the government bacho understands that who is this person who is buying so much. The amounts are a little bit more, let us say, 50,000 or more. Who is buying so much but not showing any supply or sale or not getting registered. Because if a person is going to buy, maybe he's going to use it, consume it, or sell it. So many times, okay, check now, many times. Whenever there is a sale from registered dealer to unregistered dealer, URD, clear till here? And if for a particular party, there's a lots of purchases for a particular party, okay? The government has a right or government can ask for details from this guy about the details of this person. Who is this person who is buying so much but still not yet registered? Because if he's buying, then obviously he may be consuming it or maybe selling it. So again there arises a doubt that if he buys, you understand now, if he buys items of 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs during the year and still is unregistered, are you getting my point? So there is a good chance that he is selling it but not showing still as a supply, or he's still not getting himself registered. Yes, still here? So on the basis of purchases, the department can also understand then this person might be liable for supply also or registration also. Alright? That's why we require details of the recipient. Done till here? Then HSN code we have already covered. Remember, na? Every goods or service has a unique identification code. Every goods or services on an international level. International, so it is HSN. Description, details, quantity. In case of goods, total value of supply, taxable value, total value and taxable value, taking into account the discount or rebate, etc. So first figure, then minus discount, and then obviously on the taxable value you charge the tax, rate of tax first of all. All right, amount of tax shown separately, CGST separate, SGST separate, all of that. Place of supply, okay, address of delivery, if it is different from the place of supply. At times you have done that bacho. So many times also people also use Zomato account of somebody else, Zomato, or on Amazon, okay, or let us say there are some services, I think ferns and petals, something like that, okay, that let us say there is a customer here, है ना बच्चों, there is a supplier here, okay everybody, but delivery somewhere else. So customer, let us say bachcho, is in Pune, and delivery bachcho is in, let us say, Bengaluru, okay, and supplier is in Delhi. Possible? Very much possible bachcho. Now supplier means what? Let us say I can have a head office here, and bachcho, my Bangalore has a branch office here. All my accounting is done from one central place. So Bangalore branch sends a request to Pune head office. Okay, Pune head office makes the purchase, etc., 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 from the supplier, and tells the supplier you deliver to our Bangalore branch. Understood all everybody here? Hi Anna. So that can be the case. Or you're gifting something to somebody. You made online some purchase of gift and then it delivered to somebody else. Okay, these are just simple examples. है ना बच्चों? Clear till here? So buyer is one person, but delivery is happening बच्चों at some other place. Possible. Very much possible. है कि नहीं? This so much happens बच्चों in case of corporate office and factory place, factory building. Accounting billing done at corporate office, for corporate office, or in the name of corporate office, and delivery bachcho done at factory premises. So many times this will happen. Na? It has to happen, isn't it? So many international or big companies, bachcho, they have head office somewhere else and factory somewhere else. Right, Delia? Okay. So let's go ahead, everybody. Whether the tax is payable on reverse charge basis or what, है ना? Yes. Then signature or digital signature of the supplier or its authorized representative, not required in case of issuance of electronic invoice. Signature not required if you're issuing bachcho electronic invoice. Okay. And QR code. QR code, remember now, that is the full form is bachcho quick response code. Having embedded in that QR code, you will have a invoice reference number in it in case e-invoice has been issued. This will be a little bit challenging for you, okay? QR code and all of that. This we will do in some time. Fine, Delia? So on certain invoices also you'll see bachcho QR code on certain invoices. Chalega? On invoice itself. We're going to do that in some time. Ready? Chalo. Number of HSN digits. I hope you're doing star mark with me. So this was first star mark here in the manner of your invoices. Hai na? Number of HSN digits. Generally, bachcho, it is 8-digit code. So number of HSN digits required on tax invoice and class of registered persons not required to mention HSN. What is HSN? If bachcho luckily you are asked full form, please keep this in mind. Harmonized system of nomenclature. This we had done in first chapter, I guess, little bit. We had seen some example. We had, na? ठीक है, I'll show it again, no problem. Every item you can think of, bachcho, has an HSN code. Yes, chaliye everybody. Every item. Chapter 84 of HSN. defines HSN code for personal computers. Right now, what is the code? 8471. The 4-digit code, okay. Check here. Printers, mouse, keyboard, USB drives. Okay, everybody? Desktop monitor up to 32 inches, 18%. More than 32 inches, 28%. My goodness. Laptop adapter. If you buy separately, very costly. है ना? LED is technology used na in the display. LCD, LED. It is a technology used to illuminate that screen. Can you go ahead? Chalo. So, how many code digits are required? Check. Class or registered person will not be required. That's all you have to see. Check. If the annual turnover of the registered person in the preceding financial year, again 2-star the entire table. Okay, check. What are we talking about? Invoice. So we are talking about supplier's invoice only, na bachcho. So whenever he's describing the goods, did you see this HSN over here? Hai na? So how many codes of HSN are required? That we are going to see for the goods or services, whatever he's supplying. Okay. So check. If the annual turnover is not more than 5 crores, okay, of the preceding financial year, no. When you use the word annual means the entire year was complete. So we're talking about the entire, the preceding financial year. So if it is B2B, business to business, that means the next person party is also registered. B2B means what, but you normally will now understand. The recipient is also registered, then 4 digits. If it is B2C, he's not going to claim credit. So it is your choice. It is optional. Clear till here? But if the annual turnover of the preceding year was more than 5 crores, then I should give it completely in details for B2B as well as B2C. And then what? Enter all the 6 digits, whatever the digits of the HSN will be shown. Clear till here, everybody? Yes or no? Okay? Check. So B2C turnover up to 5 crores, है ना? Exempted. Can you see here, बच्चों? B2C up to 5 crores turnover in the last year, exempted from showing any HSN codes. चलेगा? Done? चलो. Manner of issuing invoice 31 and 32. 31.1, 31.2. Read with rule 48. In case of taxable supply of goods, important now. And this is how it practically happens, okay? You have to issue, when in case of taxable supply of goods, when do we issue invoice normally? On or before time of removal. Hi, Anna? On or before time of removal of goods, when the goods are moving. Clear till here? Goods are moving through बच्चों some transport system then. It can be a small tempo or a truck or a big बच्चों what? Vehicle. है ना? Those big cement pipes you might have seen, cement pipes or any kind of pipes. They are loaded and बच्चों put only on that trailer only na. Big trucks. Yes, still here. You seen na? 18, 20 tires, long trucks. Okay? Or even that, what do we say? Containers. Containers or containers, but it's or transported containers. है ना? Can you go ahead? चलो. Manner of issuing invoice. In case of taxable supply of goods, the supplier बच्चों will issue 3 invoices or 1 invoice but 3 copies. Check. Original for the recipient, duplicate for the transporter, consignor ना, है ना? Clear till here? And for the supplier, 1 copy for themselves, for the supplier. Understood? 3 copies will be generated for every supply. Okay, original for the recipient, duplicate for the supply for the transporter, sorry, है ना, agent you can say, or transporter, and third बच्चों for yourself, your own copy. Clear till all of you? Now transporter is required because he is taking somebody's goods, so whenever he's in the transport he's stopped and he's checked etc, है ना, that whose goods what and all, he has a proof to show. He is the seller, he is the buyer, and I'm taking from this to this. Okay. Okay, you also make 3 copies. Okay, good. Understood earlier, everybody? Then, if it is services, but you are not moving any kind of service, now there is no movement. Okay, so duplicate only. Original for recipient and duplicate for us, supplier themselves. है ना बच्चों? Clear earlier, all of you? There is no movement of service and there is no transporter, no? Clear earlier? Chalo. Check quickly. What do we see here? Sample, pro forma, name, है ना, GST IN, invoice date is required, invoice number, then customer name, customer details, and GST IN, billing address, shipping address. Maybe same or maybe different, है ना? Yes, चलिए. Description of goods, HSN code. Can you see here now? Quantity, rate per item. So therefore value, है ना? Discount given, not given. So after discount, the taxable value. Rates of your tax. So can you see rates? Important. So rates and its amount and total amount. Clear? But did you see type of taxes now? CGST, SGST, etc. है ना? Tax is to be paid on reverse charge or no? That also you have to mention. Duplicate for the transporter, for example. And again your. No. This is only for your understanding. Now, बच्चों, we are going to go to a very headache part. Okay, headache. चलेगा? Be very careful now. Okay, चलो. Because this is what is going to be in future also. I mean, this is going to be very every invoice in India in future. Okay, right now it is already applicable at some level, but every invoice, at least from B2B, the department will have record of the same. Every invoice I'm talking about. First of all, we used to have details only of the total sales done during the month, total purchases done during the month, and we did not have lots of details available. But invoice wise now, we are going to have details. Okay. So let us go through this entire story. Okay, chalo. Invoicing has been introduced for reporting of business to business, B2B. Reporting of invoices to GST system for certain notified category of taxpayers. Invoice itself, the details of invoices are, we have to now upload details of invoices. We are not uploading scanned copy of the invoice, but we are uploading important fields of that invoice. Are you getting my point? What are we reporting? Details of the invoice to the department. Clear till here? Yes, every invoice. Yes, every invoice. But all taxpayers? Not yet. Right now, as if right now, not all taxpayers. Okay. So check. All registered businesses with an aggregate turnover. Okay, based on PAN. Based on PAN means what? When I use the word based on PAN for GST, then it means what, bacho? Very good. Good answer. All India. When I say all India, PAN means what? All India basis. That means all the branches, whatever you have, you may have. Hai na? So all registered businesses with an aggregate turnover based on PAN in any preceding financial year is greater than 50 crore. Is greater than what? 50 crore. Turnover I'm talking about. Yes, still here? Earlier it was 500 crore. Then it came down to 100 crore. And now it has come down to 50 crore. Okay? And slowly they will come down again. 20 crore, 10 crore and 1 crore, they will definitely come there. Or I think at least for 10 crore they'll keep. Just like they'll try to match maybe income tax audit limit and this also, maybe. Okay. Now you can understand whatever you have in syllabus right now as of now. At least if at all I talk about 3 acts. Companies Act, yes, Celia, Income Tax Act and GST. If a practicing CA is doing this, I hope you're understanding what all compliances he has to do now entire year. Keep a track of all the 3 acts, all the compliances during the year, get it done within the time period and all of that. Understood or no? Life of a practicing CA bachcho runs by due date. Okay? So you see right now these from January to March, April, as there is no big, you can say, headache. June onward, July onward, then bachcho, July to December. So last year in 2022, you might have seen, I don't know, you might have seen bachcho, all the CAs were busy during Diwali. And then I think October end something, there was a due date. Okay. Again on December, GST audit only. GST audit also we have. December and 31st December, they were also busy with that. Clear cut. Okay, and then it is a typical case. I mean, you will also realize that later on. In practice, especially, client never submits data in time. Never ever. Not most of them. They will wait till the last date and then run and then get it done. Okay, everyone that is quite typical. Anyways, okay, everybody. So, if the previous year's annual turnover is more than 50 crores, you are a big company. 50 crores, I hope you understand now. Hai na? So, you are a big bachcho business. Okay. So, that is first of all applicable on them. Will be required to issue in e-invoices only. Now, e-invoicing is not voluntary. Only notified persons are enabled to report invoices on IRP. Invoice, we have this IRP. Invoice Ration Portal. Okay, we'll do all of that, don't worry. Look at the overall story. Look at the diagram. Okay. Buyer and seller bachcho agree for selling, buying, whatever it is. Purchase order. Hai na bachcho? Who gives a purchase order? Are you aware? PO. Who gives a purchase order? Buyer gives purchase order to seller. It is like an agreement, na? What if I make the goods and then buyer says no? Hai na? I can hold him responsible, na bachcho? ठीक है? Finally, purchase order. Then here the seller is bachcho going to give a delivery note. I am sending the goods, etc., etc. Fine. At that time, you have to generate your electronic invoice. Finally, electronic invoice. Now, for generation of electronic invoice, that every invoice needs a reference number. Don't worry. See, this is your invoice. Hi, Anna. Clear, Delia? Now, you as a supplier were free to give any unique number in sequence for as invoice number or no. This must be your understanding. You have a software or you have your accounting, you're doing accounting, and you gave the invoice number. Let us say I just gave you the number, whatever I had made last time, 019, let us say, belonging to June month, okay, of financial year, whatever, 22-23. Okay, Delia, all of you. This is my own internal and for day-to-day whatever activities, my invoice number. Clear, Delia? The details, okay, whatever details we had here, and all of that, okay. The details of this invoice will be captured or basically uploaded. Okay, I'm writing details, not invoice. The details are uploaded. Is it okay, everybody? On which website? On IRP. Don't write on anything, just right now, just pay attention. The details of invoice are captured or you can say uploaded on IRP. Invoice Registration Portal. Is it okay? Let us say you are filling some Google form or your college admission form. Hai ki nahi, bachcho? Hai ki nahi? So something like that. You are uploading some details over there on a, let us say, college registration form you are filling. Once you have filled the form, do you get some acknowledgement? Yes. Let us see also you're filling exam form. Do you get some acknowledgement? Yes. Confirmation. That same thing. Once it is details are uploaded on IRP invoice registration portal. Is it okay till here? हाँ. IRP बच्चों will issue confirmation. That is called as invoice reference number. Okay. Invoice reference number. Now this invoice reference number bachcho is for this, I mean as a record or reference to this invoice issued. Understood or no? Are hi Anna, Akshay, clear till here? Tell me all of you. समझ रहे कि नहीं? It is for small players or big players? Big. Every invoice which they issue, every invoice they issue bachcho will be recorded also electronically on the with the GST department. On which website? Invoice registration portal. That invoice registration portal bachcho will give you a confirmation number called as IRN. Correct liya bachcho? That IRN also needs to be printed on the invoice. Okay, let's read it. Chalega? This entire process we have here. Some diagram. Arey, kidhar gaya diagram? This we have this entire diagram. We'll do that. Okay. Can you go ahead? Chalo. Where are we? So what is e-invoicing? E-invoicing is not generation of invoice. Pay attention. E-invoicing is not generation of invoice by a government portal. Taxpayers will continue to create their GST invoices on their own software. Okay, you might have heard of Tally, or you might have heard of any, you can say, kind of softwares which helps you to, you might have gone to restaurant or hospital or some other place, you might have seen some software they use, hai na? Which table is open, which table is closed, then billing is done, not done. So there's ERP, it is a system. So that ERP or the system basically, on that you punch the details of the recipient or buyer, etc. Billing software, okay, and that it will generate a bill. So whatever you are doing, you are still doing the same, no issues about it. Okay, chalega. Again, for the sake of time pass, later on you can go through one more website. These days, it is kind of famous these days. Soho books. It's not so Zoho. Okay. Google is so smart. So there are lots of other, you can say, softwares also. Okay. Everything. Sales, but I mean, again, depends on supplier to supplier. I mean, sorry, what kind of books you want to use, softwares you want to use. Okay. All right, all of you. There is what free, start my 14-day free trial if at all you want to do time pass. Okay. Features. Look at the softwares now. Features. Abey. Invoicing. Can you see here now, bachcho? Inventory also. Again, an important headache, huh, bachcho? POs, purchase orders, GST, e-invoicing. Can you see now here? Directly upload your invoices to IRP to stay e-invoicing compliant. Understood or no? We are talking about bachcho. Big, or you can say. Do you remember Audit Trail? Tell me. Do you remember Audit Trail now? I'm showing you accounting software. From companies at Audit Trail. Correct or no? 129. We have done that. 128 books of accounts. Hai na? So Audit Trail's feature should also be there in the accounting software. It cannot be turned off and all. Hai na? Remember? Check. A simple unified approach to e-invoicing. The new system of e-invoicing has standardized how business. GSP, which we had also seen, GSP in first chapter. They're like your software providers. So this is also software only, na? You can connect with IRP, Invoice Registration Portal directly from its own software. I should get money for promoting this here. Influencer, hai na? And create invoices in the e-invoicing format for a streamlined hassle-free process. है ना? Such a nice software. है ना? Everybody should try. Easy one-time setup. Setting up e-invoicing is simple process time pass. Basically, in this software, you can put the details of your IRP. This IRP is a website, by the way. IRP is बच्चों a website. You can here only you can store your login details of IRP. E-invoice system. Now, what has happened is the department has also made separate websites for separate purposes. Okay, e-way bill, separate website. Normal GST, your main original, separate website. Can you see here, bachcho, e-invoicing system now? And here you have login and everything. Again, you want to do time pass, you can go for statistics and all. Your what you can see. Same. They have copied. Not so study material they have copied. It's exactly same. Look at this. Same diagram we had just now. है ना? Check what are the rules here. The e-invoice system is for GST registered person for uploading B2B invoices to the invoice registration portal. This website, the IRP invoice registration portal. This website generates and returns a unique invoice reference number, digitally signed e-invoice and QR code to the user. Best na? Nice. अरे हाँ है ना? Correct. Laws again, time per statistics again. It is limitless. Whatever you want to do. Okay, Delia. Generate error free invoices. Section 31 followed. Whatever rules and formats required, that all has to be done. Correct, everybody? Cancellation also, if not required. All right. Done, Delia? And Audit Trail bachcho also, I hope you remember. Track and maintain a log of every change made in your books. Log, you understand, na? Or no? What do you mean by log, bachcho? Record. It is a record only. You will see all the changes done, है ना? As per proper date, time, user, what all changes in which entry made. That is what's called as a log. Okay. Look at the example. Wow. Time, date, activity details. That means changes made to. मैं नहीं जानता sir foundation में. No, that is not the log. We have in company accounts also now. Then, invoice number so and so, customer so and so, description, invoice updated. Okay, by so and so user also, na? User who has logged in. Done. So that you will always know who has done the changes to the any kind of your this entry in your account software. All right, everybody. Anyway, so even it is easier for auditor to check who has done all the changes and all. You know, nobody has to blame this and that. Who was the accountant? This and that. Done. Can you go ahead, everybody? Log is again now. Just report. Yeah. चलेगा? हाँ. What will we be doing? Check. The system also will generate unique IRN. Is it okay? IRP and IRN. Okay, IRP is a website, IRN is a number. Digitally sign it and return the e-invoice to the supplier. Okay. A GST invoice will be valid only with the valid IRN. the benefit, advantage, auto reporting of invoices into GST return. Now, again, I am repeating, we have not yet gone into the chapter of GST returns, but there will be, importantly, bachcho, check what will be my details of them in my GST returns. In first chapter, what did you understand? What is my GST liability? Okay, it is out tax. It is again, bachcho, liability on output. Hi, Anna. Minus ITC, input tax credit on the inward. Hi, Anna. Everyone okay here? So details of outward supply and details of inward supply. Clear? So every supplier will have to update or send or upload a GST return, but GST outward supply return. Okay, that means what details is he giving? What is my supply? Whatever sales I have done in the month. Let us use the word month. Chalega? Understood here? है ना? So he is required to upload a GST return, and in the GST return he is going to upload details of outward supply, sales. So that sales or supply can be directly taken, bacho, from the invoice system itself. Because as it is, you are uploading to the GST department. So that will be auto-populated, or auto-populated means what? Automatically filled in your draft GST return. Draft outward supply GST return. Understood or no? Yeah, bouncer, tell me. Let us suppose there is Mr. A. You know? He made bacho tens and whatever, lots of supply during the month. Is it okay, everybody? Fine till here. During the month, I'm saying. He is required to file GSTR1, let us say. Okay? GST return. GST return. Number 1. What does a GSTR1 is about? It is about bacho outward supplies. He will give all the details of outward supplies. Hi, Anna bacho. Is it okay till here? Made during this month. This month means just the previous month, let us say. Okay till here? Hi, Anna. Now here he has to give details now. To whom all he has given the supply, he has done the supply. B2B, B2B, B2C, etc. Hi, Anna bacho. Whatever it might be. During that previous month. Now this details bacho will be automatically taken. At least the B2B bacho supply will be taken automatically. He need not punch them again. Why? Because when he did this supply, that time only, what did he prepare? E-invoice. Where did he prepare? Invoice Relation Portal. Who owns bacho IRP? GST department only, na? Hi, na. So if already the details of invoices are with the department, those details are bacho automatically taken in your GSTR1. कुछ समझा कि नहीं? Tell me. Bouncer. Nobody's replying at all. Anything. Akshay. And Mansi also came. Okay, fine. One more time we'll try. Okay. First of all, did you understand GST returns? Just like income tax return. Okay, let me tell you from the example of income tax return. Chalega? Income tax return. Okay, everybody. And let us assume, again I'm saying, again assume, I have my P&L account. I'm using the word, let us say, software. Is it okay, everybody? Fine till here? I'm doing accounting in my software. This must you understand. Sales, purchases, and my NP, etc. Okay, nahi, bachcho? Fine till here? So I'm saying that instead of duplicating these things, and filling it again in income tax return, what is my sales or net profit, etc., etc., hai na? Whatever is my income. Let us imagine, let us just say that I have prepared. You've done that. This you used to do, no, bachcho? What? Computation of net profit. Remember in income tax PGBP, you start with net profit, additions, disallowances or allowances, etc. Correct, all of you? So let us say I have this kind of data ready-made over here, ready-made, online, electronic. Chalega? Is it okay till here? And then I'm going to prepare an income tax return also online. Is it okay till here? So the data which is ready over here, है ना, which you have created, okay, that data, let us say, can be directly imported in the income tax return. This much are you understanding the concept right now? You have some data ready-made electronically. It is to be used. That data which will, let us say, will be directly imported in the income tax return. Your headache is solved or no? Okay, till here? So automatically, let us say, automatically it shows. This is just a discussion. Automatically it shows what is my P&L balance sheet. In PGBP, especially, you will have to show profit and loss account and balance sheet. So let us say from the software perspective, directly the details are going to my income tax return. Okay, finally, yeah. The same thing. Let us say there is a supplier, है ना? Just now we saw accounting software. His turnover bachcho is more than 50 crores in the last financial year. Okay, till here, that is also okay. Is he required? So in his own software, bachcho is going to prepare an invoice. This much though you understood. Whichever he is going to make a details about entry into, है ना? This much you understood. Okay. Now this invoice needs to be registered on IRP. Understood? This much are you getting me or no? Why? For the purpose of e-invoicing. ठीक है? Fine. IRP बच्चों is maintained by who? GST. Correct. When I use the word invoice, is it a supply or no? Or let me use the word sale. Or let me again also use the word outward supply. Outward supply. Correct. And right now, don't bang your head so much. There is something bachcho called a GSTR1. It is bachcho GST return of details of outward supply. ठीक है? So this is bachcho also a return. Okay. Again, this return bachcho also has to be uploaded on the portal only, GST portal. Okay, GST common portal. All of you okay till here? So the only thing is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, see, in GST common portal you will have a login detail, login ID and all of that. Login details you'll have in the GST common portal. Over there, once you log in, it is your account. It is your account, bachcho, with the GST department. It will show your profile details. Just like your bachcho Ola, Uber, Zomato profile you have. It will show your details. Even if you go to Zomato, you will be able to track all your order history. Have you seen that or no? What is your history? Everything is there. Your details are there. So similarly, bachcho, when you go to this GST common portal, it will show your profile. Okay, till here. And the GST portal, bachcho, itself will show which all invoices you have done, created on IRP. Did you understand or not till now? This website, bachcho, will reflect details in your GST common portal or your main original website. Are you getting my point or no? There are two websites, I agree, or two accounts, also I agree. But the websites were for different purposes. See, this website will be used by all registered persons, every registered person. And this IRB website will be used only by those persons who are liable for e-invoicing. Hi, Anna. Hi, Indrajit, correct. Why to repeat the work now? Now check. Every person is required to do GSTR1. Required to do means required to file GSTR1. Or required. What was your taxable outward supply in the last month? That you have to report in GSTR1. Is it okay? It is a monthly return. Or for some people it is quarterly return, small taxpayers. But let us keep the example as monthly only. every month you file GSTR1 showing details of outward supply. Is it okay till here? Do you remember TDS or no? TDS. Whatever TDS you did in a month, you have to deposit or no bacho in next month? Hi Anna. TDS return, TDS details of payment I'm talking about. 7th of the next month. Remember this? Whatever TDS was done, you have deducted in the month. That entire month's TDS amount deducted, you have to deposit bacho by 7th of the next month. Remember that? Similarly, bacho, your common sense. You have done supply in the month. You collected taxes, okay? So all that supply, the tax on those supply, you have to bacho pay in the next month. Clear or no? Right now, this much you understanding? So what is your liability? How much supply you have done? That all will be reflected in GSTR1. Okay? That is a return you have to file. Now what is outward supply? I have to enter details of all my supply. But bacho, I will not re-enter the details. I will not duplicate the work because I have already uploaded data of my supplies. Hi Anna. Understood? So when I go to my account, okay, GST Common Portal, over there I will be able to see the supplies. Which one supplies I'll able to see? The supplies bacho I have done on e-invoicing or by invoice. So that will be automatically taken in my bacho GSTR1. I can rectify, make changes, add less, that is all okay. But at least the details which are correct, available, that to bacho I can use na in my GSTR1. Understood here, all of you? Fine till here? Fine. Now understand. Let me just, till you reach till here, this is what I had to tell you. So let me make it a little bit more complex. Now e-invoice bacho is applicable only for B2B. Agreed? है ना? We saw in the first one of the statements. It is only for B2B. So if at all I do bacho B2C, do I require e-invoice? Not required. But if I have actually done some sale, not required. If I've actually done some sale of B2C, actually done, I have not created e-invoice. So that details are not available on IRP. Clearly here? For B2C it is not required. So I have not registered on IRP that particular invoice details. So that bacho I'll have to update na manually. कुछ समझा कि नहीं? Those details which are not available with department, that I will have to upload na bacho manually in my GSTR1. What is GSTR1 bacho? Supplies, outward supplies made during the last month. Bouncer, Akshay, Khushbu, Nitin. अक्षय ओके और नो? ठीक है. Can I go ahead everybody? Yeah. पहले B2B अपलोड करेंगे. B2C. See. There are two separate websites. B2B you have to compulsorily upload as invoice, है ना? B2C is not required. So on this website, IRP, I'll upload only B2B. Chalega? But GSTR1 is my all the supplies done now. Now when I see, now understand, try to understand. I'll tell you this also. Any supply, bacho, any supply I do, I have to upload in my GSTR1. Now pay attention. It can be B2B supply. It can be B2C supply. Pay attention now. It can also be exempt supply. दिमाग का दही हो रहा है. It can be B2B taxable, B2C taxable, let us say. I am collecting tax from the next party or no? Yes. Whether the next party buyer be registered or unregistered, I am liable to collect. I will collect. That recipient may be registered B2B, recipient may be unregistered B2C, or also maybe I am also selling some items which are not liable to tax. Schedule 3. Are hi na? That also all supply I'll show na. That is my supply. But I'll show tax rate as 0. No tax liability. Understood all of you? Indrajit okay? So all those details here bacho then I'll have to show na. GSTR1 is your details of all the supplies. outward supplies done during the tax period. Tax period right now, बच्चों, take it as 1 month. Okay. So I'll tell you why did I do this, all of this. I should have given you one simple example, which I've already written, bachcho, in your notebook also. Okay, pay attention. Income tax. Okay, simple logic we had here. Do you remember bachcho, something called as Form 16, 16A? I don't know. We had done this. You have written in your notebook, by the way, in your income tax, maybe last page or somewhere. And form number 26 AS, maybe. Okay. If form 16 salary TDS certificate, 16 है other than salary TDS certificate. Form 26 AS is your annual it is a statement, it is an annual statement of all the TDS done on your income. TDS, TCS, advance tax, any kind of self-assessment tax which you have paid. Okay. See, income tax, do you remember properly, nicely? Let us say A paid to B. So A has done some TDS, deducted. So bachcho, everybody has a login account even in income tax or no? Income tax e-filing, do you remember? So bachcho, please pay attention. Here, A will file TDS return or no? Yes. And because A files a TDS return, in B's income tax login account, okay? In B's bachcho income tax account, automatically that TDS is reflected. So that how can I confirm? By downloading or checking this form 26AS. Are you getting my point? Because A informed the department or electronically online, it bachcho that TDS got reflected in B's account. Did you understand till here? So now when B prepares his income tax return, this TDS bachcho automatically claimed or taken. Understood or no? Yes, till here. There is no fight or any problem about this TDS mismatch and all because it is already available in the system. System means with the department's database. Hi Anna, all of you okay till here? Can we go to everybody? Okay till here? Same thing, same concept, bachcho. So I only, this is right now, I'm talking of myself only as a supplier. I am required, I'm a big supplier, more than 50 crores turnover. So I'm required to electronically upload details of my invoice in some website, GST website, GIRP. Again, I am required to file GST returns also, another compliance, GSTR1 outward supply. So the invoice details which I had already uploaded, that which invoice details will be automatically reflected or automatically captured in my GSTR return, GSTR outward supply return. Clear? All of you okay till here? समझा कि नहीं? समझा? Cool. No problem. चलेगा? Where we advantages? चलेगा. One such advantage is auto reporting of invoices into GST return. Now is it clear? Pakka? Okay, fine. And auto generation of e-way bill. No, for that you'll have to understand e-way bill. So don't worry about that. Okay. E-way is but again electronic way. Way means your transfer or you can say transport. We'll come to that. Okay. Check. Under e-invoicing, business has to report B2B invoice data only once in the e-invoice form, and the same, now check, and the same is reported automatically in multiple forms wherever required, like GSTR1 outward supply, e-way bill you require it for the purpose of transportation. E-way bill can be auto-generated using e-invoice data. GSTR1 can also be auto-populated. Auto-populated means automatically that data is updated. You go to your ICAI, but your SSP login portal also, self-service portal, remember or no? Whenever you click on your profile, you will see that. If at all you have noticed. Starting you will see with a little bit of blank form, blank. You wait for 5 seconds, that details automatically populated over there. It captures from the database, your particular data. Okay? So e-way bill can be auto-generated using e-invoice data. E-way bill. E-way bill we have to prepare. One more document which you have to prepare. So the document will be automatically prepared, taking help from e-invoice. Clear? E-invoice is electronic invoice. Correct or no? And the details bacho of e-invoice was based on section 31. And section 31 bacho told you some details to be captured, na? Name of supplier, name of recipient, HSN, goods, date, invoice number, tax rate, tax amount, and all of that. हाँ या ना? Clear all of you? अरे समझा कि नहीं? Okay, fine. That's why there will be lots of substantial reduction in the errors. Means you're uploading something here. Look at the possibilities. Na? You gave some data in your IRP and the data is not matching in your GSTR1. That is an unnecessary headache. Na? If you're doing same transaction but entry twice, there is a possibility of wrong making a wrong entry. Human error. Possible. है ना 10 is less 10 is extra is more है ना खुशबू I tell you to read goods then people read services possible or no so if you duplicate things there is a possibility of making errors understood everybody so here what are they saying you copy paste na directly then what is already available just copy paste you try to that it automatically but you reduce errors है ना fine saving on time no doubt about it no doubt you do the effort only once it will be used in multiple ways so it saves you time okay a complete trail of B2B invoices are available with the department. है ना? It will enable the system level, that means at their level, matching of input tax credit and output tax, thereby reducing tax evasion. है ना? One simple logic, but what had we discussed? One party's output tax was what? Next party's? Tell me. ITC, na? Ah. Understood or no? So it also helps now who, bacho, tell me. If the data is already available with the department, it automatically gets reflected. This is just like TDS now we discussed, bacho. If the seller files e-invoice, it helps the seller as well as bacho, it helps the buyer to claim ITC. There will be no dispute about this now. है कि नहीं? Clear till here, all of you? Because it is already getting reflected in the system. समझा? Okay? चलो. Last but not the least, e-invoicing will eliminate the fake invoices. At least they think, okay, fine. Claiming a fictitious ITC is also biggest challenges, okay, currently faced. ठीक है. So they'll have access to all the invoices in real time. That is correct. Access to understand, na bachcho. The department will have access, that means knowledge of the data of all the data in real time. As soon as you upload bachcho e-invoicing you do, the department has the data, na? है कि नहीं? Immediately. Okay, everybody? Real time. चलो आगे बढ़े. Let's go ahead. E-invoicing, but now the statutory provisions. What are the law about it? Rule 48.4 stipulates that, says that e-invoice shall be prepared by a notified class, this we have done, by uploading such particulars contained in form number GST INV invoice 01 on the common GST electronic portal. Right now, but what do we have this? What do we have here? Check here. 10 dedicated invoice reference portals have been notified by GST. Okay. Right now we have 10 websites available. This 10 websites means just 10 servers. Because entire India, every you understand now, every invoice for a big company is bachcho getting uploaded or no? Understood? You can use any of them. Done till here? So, invoice will be done and obtain an IRN in prescribed manner and subject to time other things. every invoice issued by above person means notified person in any manner other than this manner prescribed shall not be treated as an invoice. So, but the next party will not get an ITC, and always understand that this is also taken from the website only. The buyer, bachcho, who is the person who is giving money to the seller? Buyer, and buyer says, if I don't get the credit, I will kill you. No doubt, है ना? I'll come at your home and claim the credit, or I will not do business with you, and I'll also not recommend anybody to do business with you. है कि नहीं? So here, bachcho, buyer is important. And if buyer does not get credit, though, bachcho, nobody will do the business with the seller. Understood or no, everybody? है ना? So here, that invoice issued will not be treated as an invoice only. है ना? So where any invoice is applicable, there is no need of issuing. Look at the point now. No need of issuing much of physical copies of duplicate and triplicate. Best, no? Correct? Correct, done till here? Everything electronic, paperless. So we are done, bachcho. Original for the recipient, duplicate for the transporter, हाँ या ना, and triplicate for self, not required. Fine, because as from buyer's point of view, the details are already there on the portal, GST portal, legally, validly. For transporter, bachcho, now online is available, electronically. Okay, everybody? Even for who? Transporter. So they need not have that copy. Okay? That will do that in the case of e-way bill. That time you'll understand. Chalega? Chalo. This you have done, bachcho. Who are required to do mandatorily e-invoicing? 50 crores above. है ना? B2B. Supply of goods or services are both, or even for exports. But e-invoicing you have to do. Okay? ISD I'll deal with it later on. Invoicing, bachcho, is applicable also on reverse charge basis. Okay, if the tax is to be levied on reverse charge. Example, ready? A taxpayer, say a firm of advocates, having aggregate turnover of more than 50 crores, is supplying services to a company who will be discharging tax liability as recipient under reverse charge mechanism. Understand? Just answer me. Who is the service provider? Lawyer. Agree till here, everybody? Who is the service recipient? Company. On this transaction, right now, bachcho, from the supplier's point of view, they've already, their turnover is more than 50 crores in the preceding year, okay? But on this transaction, RCM is applicable. Pay attention, but on this transaction, RCM is applicable. Right now, we have not done chapter of RCM. But again, they have given you in the example itself. Who will be discharging tax liability? That is not a question, it is a statement. Who will be discharging tax liability as recipient under RCM? Who, bachcho? Taxpayer or company? Who will pay the tax? Tax has to be paid by company only. No doubt. But who will collect and pay to the government? Company themselves, out of pocket, because RCM is applicable on this transaction. Why? That is covered in RCM chapter. RCM chapter, bachcho, or RCM, it has a list of transactions on which RCM is applicable. Clear? All of you okay till here? Again, little bit of common sense, bachcho. Is medicine or medical facilities a basic necessity or no? Medicine. That's what some of you ask me why doctors don't pay tax. It is a basic thing, basic necessity. And justice, bachcho, justice is a basic necessity or no? Justice. So even that is a basic necessity. Even on that, tax is not applicable. So lawyers also, bachcho, don't collect taxes. Again, I'm talking about all the cases, okay? 99.99% cases. But when the lawyers, let us say, legal consultancy, let us use the term legal consultancy, you are providing to a company. Now, if you're providing to a company, that means obviously you're doing it for, the company is using it for commercial purpose. the company is taking opinion or legal services for commercial purpose. Clear till here? So the lawyers are not, you can say, harassed with the GST compliances. No, but you can say compliances from on the lawyers. The company is told you are doing commercial activity, you are requiring legal services, you only pay the taxes and you only do all the compliances. Understood till here, all of you? Done? So, such invoices have to be reported by said taxpayer. Okay? Who taxpayer? Lawyers only. Since it is a notified person to IRP, they will just but what? Notify that invoice on IRP. Okay, everybody? Did we see an example? Check here. On which it was clearly written that taxes will be paid on reverse charge. Hi, Anna. Yes, Indrajit. GT is just one of the examples. Correct. Okay. Fine, tell here, all of you. So the lawyers will generate an invoice. That is not an issue. They will just what? Generate an invoice. They will not collect and pay to the government. That is not their headache. But they will report on the invoicing portal. Yes, tell all of you. Hi, Anna. On the other hand, where specified category of supplies are received by notified persons from URD attracting reverse charge under section 9(4) or through import of services, invoicing budget doesn't arise or not applicable. Star mark. Check here. URD. I'll write on this. RD to RD. What is RCM? Hi, Anna. I'm writing here, let us say 1 and here 2. So for this e-invoice applicable. Okay, done till here? Or you can give name A and B. Okay, your choice. Is it okay or no? Because they have written the word taxpayer. So they are registered. They are what, bacho? Registered. Fine. Specified category of supplies are received by notified person from unregistered. So URD to RD. But on this bacho RCM was applicable. Hi, Anna. So check. E-invoicing doesn't arise or not applicable. So here again 1 and 2. There is no question of this person 1 URD because it's unregistered. But e-invoicing bacho will, e-invoice will not happen. Clear till here? Again bacho what? Import of services also. Okay, so this is the same example. So this is your case 1. In case 2, write down this. Import of imports of services as well as goods. E-invoice not required. Fine till here, all of you? Write down quickly, bacho. All examples important.
Recording stopped.
Okay, Nitin. Can you go ahead?
Recording in progress.
Chalo. Exemption from e-invoicing. Any kind of question can be asked. Okay? So Important. Following entities are exempt from mandatory requirement even if their turnover is more than 50 crores in the preceding year. SEZ units, insurer banking company, impossible for them to bacho on every invoice to create invoice. Will be very, very tough. Okay. GTA, supplying services of transportation, है ना, by road in a goods carriage. Goods carriage is a vehicle. Goods carriage है ना, is a vehicle. And supplier of passenger transportation service, bus, rail, and what waterways and airways, है ना, flight, etc. Correct, Ilya? Cannot for invoice because their customers are in huge quantity. Clear, Ilya, all of you? And as it is again check for them, it is at least for passenger transportation is completely, but mainly what B2C only, na? Mainly. Okay, done. Person supplying services, cinema halls also. Okay, impossible. ठीक है. Cinema also. What is the question? Not yet. That is not yet covered. But mainly again that is compulsorily for zoo, which company will take their people to zoo. In invoicing, what you have to do, B2B only, na? है ना? Fine. Done till all of you? चलो. It is important to note that only SEZ unit, those you can see companies in that SEZ zone and not SEZ developers are exempted from issuing e-invoices. Who are SEZ developers? There are again big entities who are actually maintaining, and you have heard of township, residential township, and in that residential township, no, never heard of township for stay. I mean buildings. Nanded, I don't know. I mean again different cities have different townships. Hudko, or there is what bacho, or we had in Pune, Nanded city we have. What examples I give you of townships? You have never been to a township? Never? Anybody? Magarpatta, Pune again. I'll just give you an example, ठीक है? हाँ, तो what is it? As you know, only name. Okay. Check your area, and that you'll see your city, whatever, and just put a township. You'll see. Okay. Means look at this. This is not one single bungalow or one single society. There are multiple societies inside a area. Okay. Multiple societies. Multiple buildings are there as well as multiple societies also. Cooperative societies. Yes, still all of you? So the developer is only one single developer, na? But when I write Magarpatta, that means that whoever is the developer, they have created entire small city. I'll say, okay, township is like a mini small city. The township obviously has bacho security services, entry, exit gates, water supply, fire extinguishing, all that. There is a dedicated fire station in a township. Then you have multiplexes. You have small malls, those vegetable counters, schools, hospitals in the township. It is like a setting up. Like I said, it is like a setting up a small city in the nearby area. Understood or no? Okay. Play area. I forgot play area, common area, that garden, all of that. Understood? So developer is who is developing this entire area. Is it okay? Why island? Why island? See, the name also they are giving it as Magarpatta city. है ना? Okay, understood? You may have this kind of, now Google will think I want to buy. Because of you I have to show all of this, है ना? I'll get ads only now, all the cities. Okay, everybody got it? These are like a dedicated areas. Okay. Similarly, SEZ unit, that means a branch or a office in SEZ branch. I mean, you can say office or a factory or a, again, commercial unit in SEZ is separate from the SEZ developer. Okay. So again, the developer is also giving services, na? Maintenance, security, electricity, everything. Okay. So SEZ developer understand. Okay, star mark is not exempt from issuing invoices. Okay, only SEZ units. Okay, done till here. Look at this. Notified person to SEZ unit invoicing required. Okay. RD means registered dealer. Okay. चलेगा? चलो. Mahajan Private Limited has an SEZ unit and a regular DTA. DTA, I hope you remember, domestic tariff area. Any area other than SEZ is DTA. Has an SEZ unit and a DTA unit, both having same PAN. Obviously, what if they are in same state? Will they have same GST IN or no? If both of them are in the same state, same GST IN, different GST IN. SEZ बच्चों compulsorily different GST IN, even if in same state. Yes or no? We had seen that in the chapter of registration. SEZ बच्चों, SEZ and DTA, even if both are in the same state, SEZ compulsorily different registration. Okay? Okay? Sure. The aggregate turnover of the company is more than 50 crores. Okay. Considering both the GST INs. However, turnover of DTA is 20 crores in the preceding financial year. In this scenario, SEZ unit is exempt from e-invoicing. However, e-invoicing is applicable on DTA because aggregate turnover on the same PAN. समझा now बच्चों? All India basis now. है ना? Understood or no? Is more than 50 crores. Because the eligibility is based on aggregate turnover on the same PAN. Clear? Good example this is. SEZ unit is बच्चों exempted from issuing e-invoices, but aggregate turnover बच्चों was more than 50 crores. That's why SEZ is exempted, but DTA बच्चों will have to do e-invoicing. Clear? Done? Ready? How e-invoice is generated? Again, this is a process. The taxpayer first prepares and generates, pay attention, common sense. The taxpayer first prepares and generates his invoice using his own software, just like what we had seen Zoho or Tally. हाँ है ना? Or manual system. The literal paper, but who is going to बच्चों have on paper if they have turnover of 50 crores, है ना? The invoice must conform to the e-invoice schema. Schema means it is a standard notified format. Something like XML, remember that? Or XBRL. Have you seen much XBRL in Companies Act? है ना? Okay? Or your Java based files, that also. Everything. JSON. I forgot all the JSON. JSON. JavaScript something. Okay. Done till here. So invoice must conform with the e-invoice schema. Schema means again a computer language. Okay. And must have mandatory parameters. Pay attention now. The details of this invoice are uploaded or reported by taxpayer to the IRP. This much is also okay till now, bacho. This way, taxpayer registers his supplier transaction on IRP. Is it okay? We have done the IRP software. We have done, no? I'm on online website e-invoice. Can you see that? Help. I'm clicking on help. Your my videos, FAQs, documents, presentation, tools. Okay. I'm clicking on a bunch of tools. Can you see here? Bulk generation tools. That is, you want to upload multiple invoices in single go. Okay. Are hi Anna. Invoice preparing and printing tool on the left hand side I'm saying. Okay. A simple user friendly form based Excel tool to enter into invoice one by one and generate IRN numbers. So nice, no? So again, it is a Excel. If at all you have any time used Excel, on that all that you can say restrictions, formulas, everything is already put on that Excel. Okay, I will not be able to open here. Arey bhai, I'm not doing this. Okay, exit. Anyways, help tools, bulk generation. ठीक है? Bulk. JSON, can you see now JSON? Just now I discussed, bacho. Java based, it is Java based, okay? Again, it's just a simple software. What do you e-invoice JSON preparation? Format A, B2B, SEZ exports, DIM exports, e-invoice details in one sheet, in two sheets, multiple sheets, okay. Okay, everybody? Do you have to remember all of this? No. This is for your understanding only. समझा? So can we go ahead, everybody? Pay attention now. Now on uploading this website, wait for the screen. Next page. On uploading, you all have textbook with you, no? Oh, I hope so. Correct, no? On uploading, IRP gives back. The website which gives back. Returns means your gives back. The invoice with a unique IRN, invoice reference number. Okay. After digitally signing the e-invoice, okay, and adding a QR code. Who is doing this work, bacho? Generation of IRN, signing the document electronically, and QR code. Who is doing this work? Tell me, bacho, what do you think? Who is doing this work? Tell me, bacho. IRP. Correct. It is a website, not a department, okay? Department is GST only. IRP website is doing all of that. Input is what? In this IRP website, what is the input? Your invoice details as per the format. I've just gone one page above, okay? I'm repeating myself. What is the input in the IRP website? Your invoice details as per the format. Just now I showed you that login and everything a little bit. So again, there is a format. Put the details as per the format, upload that file. Understood or no, everybody? For example, there was an Excel file, hai na? So I have filled the details of my invoice in the Excel file, and that I'm uploading that Excel file. Clear? That Excel file will generate a file. Let us say XML file or JSON file or whatever it is. That file I will upload on the IRP. and that IRP बच्चों will give me invoice wise IRN, QR code and signature, electronic signature. That is okay. That means yes, this is properly verified, notified and all of that. Okay. अरे हाँ है ना. Then the supplier बच्चों actually prints out these one. Then the supplier shares the e-invoice with the recipient. समझा? The one which is given to the recipient. This one. Clear? चलेगा बच्चों? The same invoice but now generated electronically. Now, how e-invoice data is consumed, that means used by GST system for generation of e-way bill or populating. Populating means auto-filling, okay, filling relevant parts of GST returns. IRP website sends the e-invoice data, है ना, along with IRN to the GST common portal, this main original website, and e-way bill system also. So check बच्चों, how many websites we saw? This तो बच्चों we had seen original one. Is it okay, Delia? Goods and service tax e-invoice system. Is it okay, everybody? Huh. Then e-way bill. What, why, how, that we will see later on. Okay, e-way bill. But again, that e-invoice data is again sent to e-way bill. अरे चलना. Okay. Something about बच्चों transportation है ना? Is it okay to clear all of you? Check. E-way bill system is for GST registered person or enrolled transporter for generating the way. Way means transport bill, a document which needs to be carried by the transporter electronically on starting commencement starting of movement of goods exceeding value more than 50,000 in relation to supply or for reasons other than supply or due to inward supply from an unregistered person. Basically, whenever you move the goods, now whenever, that's why I told you, whenever whichever goods are moving in the country whose value is more than 50,000, okay, for that a e-way bill has to be generated compulsorily. So all the trucks which you see on the highway throughout India, all of them bachcho are reported to the department. You can't start your vehicle as such or movement without generation of e-way bill if the value obviously is more than 50,000. Clear to all of you? Understood or no, everybody? So this is your normal website, GST, our common portal, है ना? Everybody, which one? This is your GST common portal. Correct? Then this is your e-way bill. And third bachcho we saw your e-invoices. है ना? This one. Understood? So by e-way bill, the details are going to the GST common portal as well as your e-way bill. From e-invoicing, the details are going to e-way bill as well as GST common portal. चलेगा? The GST common portal बच्चों will auto-populate your GSTR1. Is it okay now? What is GSTR1 बच्चों? Do you remember a little bit now? Outward supply. हाँ है ना? GSTR1 बच्चों is your outward supply. Okay? Now don't get confused with GSTR2A and all. But if the outward supply one party is auto-populated, that means the next party is the buyer's ITC is also auto-populated. कुछ समझा क्या? Did you understand? No? Understood पक्का? Yes. So if A बच्चों supplied to B, A created the E invoice, so A's outward supplies automatically filled GSTR1. हाँ या ना? Outward. So बच्चों buyers, that is something GSTR2 way right now, don't worry about it. Inward supply gets automatically updated. So he'll be easily claiming ITC. Understood or no? Everybody? Tell me, समझा कि नहीं? Can we go ahead, everybody? Sure. What does e-invoice have? Okay. Some like transporter ID, vehicle number through which you're going to send, that are required for creating an e-way bill. Otherwise, this can be entered if available with seller at the time of generation of e-invoice, so that e-way bill can be created immediately. The e-invoice reporting software already allows reporting of e-invoice and generation of e-way bill in the same data. Basically, filling the same data, you can create the e-invoice as well as e-way bill immediately. Why do we require bacho e-way bill? For transportation of goods. You cannot, otherwise it will be, you cannot transport the goods without bacho e-way bill. Otherwise it will be called as smuggling. Okay, because you have to report that and you have to have an e-way bill for every transport. Clear earlier? As it is, like I said, we will be dealing with e-way bill in some time. Chalo. Cancellation amendment of reported invoice. Wherever needed, the seller can cancel IRN for an e-invoice already reported by reporting it on IRP within specified time. Amendment of e-invoice already uploaded on IRP will be done on GST portal while filing GSTR1. Amendment of invoices is not possible through IRP. Means once you have generated on IRP, maximum what you can do is cancel it. You can't amend it. Okay, everybody, maximum what you can do is bacho, cancel it or not amend it, but that also within a particular time. Okay, but if at all you think there is a mistake, then as it is that data will be captured in GSTR1 outward supply, that time you can amend it. Okay, so your IRN cannot be bacho amended, but if the supply you think is wrong, it was not correct, you know, some changes need to be done, that you can do in GSTR1. Done till here? Do you understand? Are you reading with me or no? What is schema? Bachcho, it is a format which can be understood by every machine, na? है ना? I can't give, let us say, output from Excel sheet to an input in Word file, or output from PDF to an input in bachcho Tally software directly. Not possible, because the readability bachcho of every software is different. है ना? Done, everybody? So again, nothing great over here. Check what is JSON. JavaScript object notation. ठीक है. They will not ask you anything full form of this, but ठीक है. This JSON file can be understood as a common language for systems and machines to communicate with each other and exchange data. IRN is much different from invoice number. It is not an invoice number, bachcho. It is a unique hash. It is also called as hash. Unique reference number or hash. Look at this. This will be impossible to what, bachcho? This is an example of IRN. This will be impossible to copy, or you can say duplicate. है ना? Done till here, all of you? We'll take a break. Everybody.
Recording stopped.
This will take a little bit time. This chapter is going to take a little bit time, okay? हमको सब कुछ ही करना है. चलेगा ना? Until here only we have this invoicing and all. Where? हाँ. Till 8.28 only. Okay, everybody? At least for e-invoicing. Then we will be dealing with the same things. चलेगा, everybody? 20 minutes break चलेगा. 11:20 we'll meet again. बोलो फटाफट.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so this session till here. In the next session, Bachu will take up the next part, okay, of e-invoicing. Okay, everybody? Yeah.
Recording stopped.
Chalo, YouTube वालों, bye bye. See you at 11:20.